Gold Beach, Oregon, just 40 miles north of the California border. It's said that it's where the ocean, the forest, and the river all come together. Gold Beach is steeped in history. The early story of Gold Beach is a weaving of Native American cultures and wars, Spanish explorers and European fur trappers, ranchers, gold miners, loggers, fishermen, mill workers, and townfolk, all building a special kind of life in an amazing place that has never lost its natural allure. So this community was originally named Ellensburg in the 1850s, but later took the name Gold Beach. Why? Because there, at a beach near the mouth of the Rogue River, hundreds of placer miners extracted gold. So here we are starting our day in Gold Beach with Jerry's Jetboats, and we'll let them tell you about the tradition they carry on to this day, delivering mail up the Rogue River to the town of Agnes. And we get to tag along on this historic mail route. Well, we get dropped off along the way. Wait till you see this place. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, glad to have you here.
Wait to get on the Jetboat, man.
Well, this is the spot to do it. This is the thing.
You run this whole thing?
We do. This is the Rogue River. We're down here in Gold Beach, and your day is going to be dictated by how far you choose to go up the river here. The Staples historic mail route up there to Agnes, Oregon. Beautiful section of river, no whitewater, but still a great day on the river. Little whitewater, you're going to jump 8 miles above here to the Express Whitewater Tour. Just give you a touch, some of the fun stuff, some splash and spray, might get a little wet. And if you're really looking though for the crown jewel, this upper 12 miles of the Rogue River there called the Wild, or it's the wild section of the Wild and Scenic River, and that is the crown jewel. There's no road access up there. It's Jetboat in, whitewater raft down, or hike into. And just narrow, rugged, beautiful country. Blossom bars physically and legally as far as you can go by boat. And not to miss out, you know, here in Agnes too is the place called Cougar Lane Lodge, serving up meals. So your trip's going to include a meal stop there. We call it Rogue River style barbecue. It's our own style on the river there.
I love it.
Big deck outside overlooking the river. And that'll just kind of be midway and then finish the day back there in Gold Beach. So
this is great. And you and your family run it? You and your brother run it?
We do. Dad bought it in 1972 and he's still around, but not on the daily basis.
And so even though this is the place that you stop, you are responsible for running mail.
Established back in 1895, this little hamlet here of Agnes, and actually to be more historically correct, it was up near Illahee Lodge. There was an old pioneer that was the first to get an official USPS contract for mail delivery. So you got to imagine all these people living along the river there, kind of cut off from civilization. And in 1895, he petitioned the USPS to get that mail contract. It was official of 1896. And the history's been kind of after that since. So that's where we call it the historic mail route up to Agnes, because just soon after the 1900s, the town of Agnes there developed into a little community, and that was an original post office there. So that is the historic mail route up to Agnes, which we're still doing 6 days per week as a contracted USPS contractor.
That is
year-round too. We only boat in the summer, but in the winter we'll drive it up and have some mail ladies that deliver Agnes. Because the road actually from Gold Beach to Agnes did not go into place till about the mid-60s. So all the way up until that point, it was get to Agnes by mail boat, and that's what kicked off the tour boat industry in mid-40s. Ride the riffles of the Rogue by mail boat, and so we're definitely ingrained in the history of the Rogue River here as a big part of it. And the company ties into the history too. First, the original mailboats were actually propeller driven. And then even before that, it took 2 to 3 days to go from Gold Beach to Agnes. So it wasn't just a journey that everyone did. On the original mailboats was pike pole, rope lining, sailboat, 3 to 4 days to make that round trip mail delivery. Just one way, excuse me, not even round trip, just one way. And then the propeller driven boats came along kind of in the early 1900s, got a little better, and then the jet boats like we have today kicked off in about 1958 and has kind of revolutionized jet boating.
Now it's 20 minutes.
Well,
right? 30 minutes?
45, probably, up to Agnes there.
I don't think I've said one right guess. about how long or how old something
That's
is.
all right. That's why you got to ride.
Man,
The,
now you
that's
got
why
me
you, That's why you
education.
got to ride the trip. That's what it's all about.
That's
is showing
it.
off the scenery of the
That's
Rogue
it.
River, and then all the history that kind of winds in our company and the river itself, and that's what makes it pretty awesome.
All right, well, let's get going.
All
Let's
right.
go.
Hey, come on over here, and we'll get things set
All
up
right.
for you, and go for a journey on the Rogue River.
And this is our Jetboat captain.
In front of us on the left, you'll see a small colony of harbor seals on the dock. The bridge you see in front of us, commonly called the Rogue River Bridge, is actually the Isaac Lee Patterson Memorial Bridge. This bridge was completed in 1932. Oddly enough, it's 1,932 feet long. Designed by a French architect, they say there's only one other bridge like it in the world that's in the south of France. This was the first bridge of its type to be built using the pre-stressed concrete method, and back in 1980 they put this bridge on the National Historic Registry for old bridges. The Rogue River is a little over 200 miles long. It bubbles up out of the ground just west of Crater Lake, flows down through the Cascade Mountains, past one dam, through the town of Grants Pass, down through the Wilderness Canyons, and down to Gold Beach. Today we'll be traveling 32 miles upriver to the small community of Agnes. It's important that when we come across wildlife, that we try to be as quiet as we can. All of the animals that we'll see today are all wild animals, with the exception of a few geese and cattle. Tututan Lodge is a real nice 4-star, soon to be 5-star, I think. This is named for the Tututan Indians that had a little fishing camp right here. And we're going to be dropping the PBS folks off here.
The views are breathtaking, and the wildlife puts on its own show.